Welcome back. Thank you for coming back. I hope that I record the video and edit it in a timely manner. At this moment, I have not done that, so we'll see. But yeah, this is gonna come out as a two-parter regardless because I think I just like really want to make sure that there's adequate time to for me to really reflect and think about these men's actions. You know, since they won't do it, I will do it for them. Let's recap. Let's do a recap. If you remember the tiers, we had down bad and in the trenches. Hell yeah, that's our top here. After that is will yeet themselves off a cliff. You deserve rights. You can be let out on good behavior, but only after you step it up. This might just be the bare minimum. I fear life, no parole. If you hate her, just say that electric chair. Last time we had Kyo up here, down by the industries. Hell yeah, yes, that's my boy. We had Kei Takashima, and we had Usui from Maid Sama here in the. I will say that we'll eat themselves off a cliff. You deserve rights. Live happy and free, girl. You know what I mean? And then, I know this might be controversial, but we had Tamaki. We had Tamaki. In this might just be the bare minimum. I just feel like the yearning wasn't really there, like, and a lot of people might argue, look, I'm already talking about something that I ranked last time when we're supposed to be doing part 2, but I just want to add, okay, I just want to add as we're recapping and before you spam this this video with hate comments. I just feel that even in the setting that they had, he didn't do enough. You know what I mean? I just feel like everybody was being nice. Everybody was being kind. You don't have to do something crazy just to be ranked high, but you need to feel it in your bones. You need to be acting like you're feral, like you're gonna die if you can't be with her or if you can't see her. It's not even that you can't be with her. It's that the fact that like he's happy and has to be satisfied just because she's alive or living her best. You know what I mean? I didn't see enough self-sacrificing from him for him to be ranked among the greats. You know, if that makes sense? Like, I think it's just a bare minimum, and I think she deserves better. That's my honest opinion, okay? It's time. Do you guys remember this anime? Okay, the next one we have, starting us off, is Tomoya. Matched with Nagisa from Clannad. Oh, when was the last time you heard that title, huh? When was the last time? Released in 2007. One of the first shoujo animes that truly, like in its entirety, broke my heart. I think I cried for, like, I think I'm still crying. If I think about it too hard and I remember specific scenes properly, I think I'm gonna cry again. But I will say, like, again, in terms of romance anime, this is a classic. This is a good slice of life. There's nothing really crazy if that happens about this. It's truly about like the love and living and grief and just family. And in this specific segment, I am only going to be talking about the first one, not After Story. So After Story is the one that comes after. And like with all of the main animes that I've been talking about, I am not including anything after the original animes because I don't think that's fair, because some of them don't get an adaptation and you don't get to see the rest of the story. And I didn't include mangas or like endgame story stuff like that's canon because, again, it's not fair because I didn't read all of them, and also, you know what I mean? I just wasn't there for that. So I will only judge him based on the anime and what the anime shows us. I don't think he yearned. I just don't think he's a yearner down to his bones. Like, I don't think he's yearning enough or he yearned enough. In the main storyline, there's this like commitment that ends up happening, but I think that it's very much fueled by Nagisa's side. And since we're ranking the male yearners in this, I don't think he did enough. I think she did all the work and he didn't do enough. Like, I think he comforted her a few times, maybe held her hand a few times, but it was never like, I'm sacrificing so much of myself to be with you or love you and show you I care about you. I just don't get that vibe, and I don't think that was their vibe. The first season, not including After Story, it's just a high school romance, and then it's coupled with the next part, which is after story, that makes it a more dynamic and more fulfilling story. Without after story, I think their romance is pretty shallow. Ooh, I don't know. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And I will say this with so much love and care because I do love Clannad. And if you're going to watch it and you're watching this video thinking if you should watch it, don't watch it for the yearning, watch it for the romance, but watch it in its entirety, if that makes sense. Like, it's a good slice of life romance in its entirety. But if you're just gonna judge it for the first, like how they fell for each other and how they got together, I don't think you will be as fulfilled because, like, I just don't think he's not a yearner. I don't think he really tried that hard to be with her. I am not going to rank him any higher than Electric Chair. I think she deserves better. With her sweet, sweet heart and her pure, pure soul, I think she deserves better. And maybe... I'm not gonna say the next part because I'm just reacting out of anger. But yeah, I think if you hate her, just say that Electric Chair. You did not do enough for me. Sorry, Tomoya. You know, you've been through a lot, but not even. Yeah, I actually remember feeling like, you know, now that I'm remembering, I actually remember feeling like, oh, this feels really unfulfilled in the first season. Let me see what happens in the next season or the next like after story. Maybe that counts as season 2. I just don't think that it counts as season 2. I can't find the words to say. All right, let's move on. Don't hate me, okay? But we have to talk about Vampire Knight. Yep. Yes. I know. These are shoujo classics. You cannot deny that this is a classic, okay? So for Vampire Knight, I loved Vampire Knight as a child. I really did. It was one of the main things that I found out for myself rather than like a friend recommending it to me. I enjoyed it at the time. I really liked vampires at the time, and so I enjoyed it. And there's definitely a lot of romance and probably things that like fell, you know, like blew past my head. But at the time, I distinctly remember myself like I wanted to say yearning for more, like more anime of that. More adaptation of the manga. Like, I wanted the story to keep going. I was distraught that there were no more episodes to watch. I remember taking a long, long break from anime because of how distraught I was. And that kind of happens to me. That's not surprising. At the time, I was surprised because I didn't know anything about myself. But as I've grown and it's been more than like 10, 15 years later, I know who I am. I get really attached to media. And sometimes some media will hit me more than others. And I have a hard time moving past them or moving through them if I really enjoy them. And that doesn't have anything to do with quality. And like, it's just how I feel at the time. That's just how I am. I have definitely gotten better as time has passed by. And so now looking back on Vampire Knight and trying to refresh, I'm like, you know, skimming past like the main story arcs and highlights and moments for them. Yeah, I don't know why I thought this was like the greatest anime ever. They're clearly not. But again, this is not a review of the anime, right? Like, this is not a review of Vampire Knight, but I want to explain why I had included this in this section as a 26-year-old. I'm actually gonna rank the two main leads. This is a love triangle story, and I don't think I would do it justice if I only picked one. Zero is this white-haired, like, vampire hunter type, very protective, very jealous, kind of cold on the outside, very, very warm and soft towards Yuki. And that's how he is. He is really, really affectionate towards Yuki. And I remember that, you know, he does a lot of things to himself to protect Yuki or for the benefit of Yuki. And I love that. I am a sucker for that. Again, like, you need to be ready to yeet yourself off of a roof to protect her. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of energy, the kind of yearning I need. But I will say, there were still moments where I was like, you kind of put her in harm, and maybe you didn't pick the best choices for her. But I will say, like, I have no really bad feelings against Zero at this point in time. Like, you will have to forgive me if he has done something atrocious, but nothing really stood out to me in my recap of like me refreshing myself on this on this journey or on this anime. But I think that because of that, I'm comfortable ranking him in you can be let out on good behavior, but only after you step it up. I'm only ranking him here because I don't think he did the bare minimum. And I think he could do better. Like, I think that's my main thing, is that he could have done better. I know there's like vampires and all these other forces that were fighting him, but I just think he could have suffered a little bit more. You know? I only yeet themselves off a cliff, you deserve rights. Low-key, it feels that tier can only be given to someone who hasn't done that yet because they've exhausted all of the options before. Does that make sense to you guys? Because it makes sense to me, and I'm sorry that if it doesn't make sense to you. But the fact that he was already willing to kill himself actually doesn't make it, I don't know. You know, you got to that point so quickly. I just feel like you could have yearned a little bit harder. You could have anguished a little bit more. But that's just me. You know, maybe I'm asking for too much. But in terms of like yearning, average. I would say like this is the average scale, and it was a pretty average. Like I think he's good. Like, yeah, I don't think he did the bare minimum. Definitely not. I think he went beyond that. But you know, I wouldn't rank him the same as Usui or Kei. Like those guys were, you know, those guys were really yearning. You just, yeah, I don't know. I think my people will understand me. I think you guys will understand me. We know who's next. Okay, we know who's next, and I have nothing but bad things to say about him. Let me give it a fair chance, okay? So it's Kaname and Yuki.
Be nice. I'm finding it.
I think it's a little lazy, okay? I think that the emotional yearning wasn't there. I don't think that was there at all. And I also don't think that it was fair that I don't know. I need him to stay away from her. Yeah, that's actually what it was. Because I think that even when I was a child, I never liked him. And maybe that's just my affinity towards white, silver-haired boys in anime. But I genuinely never really liked Kaname for Yuki. And I felt like he protected her to save her for himself. Does that make sense? That's how I feel. So it's too self-serving. It's too selfish. Yearning is all about self-sacrifice. I don't know whoever roots for Kaname and Yuki for Vampire Knight. I don't think that anybody, even if you're a child, I feel like you get the instinct that that's wrong. I don't know. They're also just like really boring. You know, he had the power imbalance between them is too great, and it's too obvious. Takes advantage of it too much. The fact that he has a lot of power over her, and I don't like that because that is not the hallmark of yearning and being down bad, which is what we're rating these men on, and I just don't like it, and I actually wouldn't recommend it at all as a romance anime because I think, you know, in 2026 we have better standards. I think we should be spreading a better message. Also, I mean, good luck on finding like a good HD. I tried to look for a good HD copy or like scenes, and oh my god, like I don't know where else. Like I even looked for like my old websites, you know, my old trusty websites, and yeah, I guess like back then that was the highest resolution we'd ever seen, and then now we're just spoiled, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, the animation wasn't great either. I think there are better animations for the time. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't even like as a shoujo anime, honestly. But in terms of the yearning, we already know. We already know. Da-da-da. We already know where we're gonna put him. I just like, yeah, I'm a big hater of Kaname. I'm sorry if you like him. Actually, I'm not. So you're gonna go to the electric chair. Guys, we're going down to our last two. Who's next? Ooh, we have Tomoe and Nanami from Kamisama Kiss. I actually only recently watched this anime, so I didn't have to do that much research for this. I wish I did see it when I was like 13, 14 because I would have loved it. I would have adored the way that this anime is done, and I like it now. I really like it now. I like the female character and I like the male lead. And again, this is not a review of the anime, but I'm just like reminiscing, I guess. But let's talk about Tomoe. He's like this familiar that was promised, like the familiar of the earth god. They're kind of there by force, you know, like a situation where like he is forced to serve her and to be her familiar. And initially she doesn't like him that much either, and he doesn't like her at all. And there's this battle of like, she's just a human. And I really did like this anime because I liked that there was this element of this friends to lovers type of vibe that slowly built up over the course of what, 2 seasons? 2 seasons or one? I don't even remember. But I just remember feeling fulfilled with how their relationship was growing and how much he was yearning for her. Because there were so many moments, these little moments where he wasn't ready to admit to himself how he felt about her. And she was too shy to even like think about those things because she also felt like kind of some animosity at the start. But they're also like devoted to each other. They're devoted to each other. He's devoted to her, even without realizing that that's what makes him happy. And then there are moments in the anime where he chooses to actually where she's ready to let him go. And again, like if we were gonna rank like yearning for female MCs, you know, she's up, like Nanami's up there, but Tomoe himself was very, very good at choosing her. And when he was released and he had the option to leave her, he stayed. He stayed and has since like devoted, the entire anime devotes himself to being there for her and to protect her. And I absolutely adore. There's like this episode that I really love where he gets to see Nanami as a little child. And I think it was so cute the way he handled it, like giving him, like staying in there because he wanted to see a little bit more of her side that he had never seen before. And he handled it with so much compassion. You can see that in the way that he treats her child self and the way he treats her adult self, where despite all of, you know, like their teasing and kind of like rivalry that they have a little bit, their dynamic is really, really good and interesting. I will say, like, I didn't like him at first. I actually don't like familiar, like, type animes or romances. But that changed when I didn't think I would like it, but after watching Kamisama Kiss and the way Tomoe is, I like it. I am not typically someone who likes like arranged marriage and then fall with each other, because I feel like, oh, like all these things are already catered to you, but there's enough of the plot and enough obstacles that they had to overcome where Tomoe gets to show how much he really actually wants to be with Nanami. And that's the core of yearning. It's easy to die for someone. I will say that. I think in stories, especially in romance, it's easy to die for someone. And that's why, like, even though I have a will you themselves off a cliff, you deserves right tier, will you live for them though? And that's what Tomoe does. He lives for her, and he basically devotes his entire life, strength, obligation, everything to protect and serve Nanami. And that's, yeah. Like, there's so many moments where he clearly doesn't want to do what, you know, like he clearly doesn't want to help the people she wants to help. He clearly doesn't want to do the things that Nanami is asking him to do. Like, Tomoe is basically doing whatever she wants, and I'm down. I love that. I love that. And he does it because it makes her happy, because it makes her life easier. Obviously, I'm gonna put him in will you eat themselves off a cliff, you deserves right. Because not only does he willingly would die for her, he willingly lives for her. And I think that's so much harder, and I think that's so much more impactful, especially in stories where you can never die, or like things like this, right? Like where it's an agony to be alive because you're so heartbroken or there's no reason for you, but he finds reason in her. And yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, will eat themselves off a cliff, you deserve rights. Thank you let me record this. Yeah. We're down to our last boy. We're down to our last boy for this part, and I'm a little bit sad about it because I was really having fun ranking them and talking about and reminiscing. But it's okay, we'll do more of these until you guys are sick of me. But yeah, we have Hak from Yona of the Dawn, released in 2014. Can you guys believe it has been literally more than 10 years since this anime has come out, and they just announced a season 2. So I'm so happy to be getting into it at this time and to bask in the glory that is Hak and Yona. I have really enjoyed Hak and Yona. You already know where I'm gonna rank him, okay? Like, let's not play. But Let me explain, okay? Because I will not pass up an opportunity to talk about this man, okay? I rarely sing praises about men. But Hak, have you guys seen those TikTok edits of Hak like literally protecting Yona? Again, another example of will yearn, will live, will do whatever it takes to protect her, to protect her happiness, to protect what's precious to her, will stand by her side no matter what, against the world, against kingdoms. Is willing to stand by his feelings as long as he gets to stand with her. He's willing to suffer for the rest of his life, being nothing more than her bodyguard, her friend, if it meant that he gets to stand with her, beside her. Oh, yeah, that's what yearning is. And anybody else who could argue against that, and I don't think anybody would, yeah, that's what yearning is. And if you need a man, like if you need a classic shoujo example of what a man should look like, it's none other than Hak, okay? Because the way he absolutely holds her with so much gentleness, but then lets her fight, lets her find her own autonomy, lets her risk herself, obviously with conditions, but never ever will take anything away from her as long as she's safe. And there's like these moments where he just absolutely just adores being, in her presence, and where he lapses a little bit, where he just like lets his feelings out a little bit, and it's delicious. It's yummy. It's so good. He was close to dead. Okay? Close to dead. And instead of dying, taking the easy way out, okay? He lives. He fights to be stronger. He fights to be better. He fights to heal, to be with her. He literally is about to abandon his entire family, his entire village, in order to keep her safe, to keep her protected. And you guys think I'm gonna rank him anything else but down bad and in the trenches? This man is going down bad and in the trenches, hell yeah. S tier level of yearning. S tier. Okay? Yep. Hak on the yearning scale? I approve. He could be a bit more jealous, but I don't think I would be doing him justice if I ranked him at will eat themselves off a cliff, you deserve rest, because I do think he is down bad and in the trenches. I think he needs to be in the down bad in the trenches more, and he needs to show that a little bit more. I'm giving it a little bit of a grace period, because maybe I need to rewatch the anime, maybe I need to, I don't know what it is, and maybe another season needs to come out. That's probably it, but I will rank him in this category because that's what feels right for me to rank him in there. I think he yearns way more than Tomoe. I think he yearns way more than Usui and Kei. And the stakes are so high. And I think that in terms of that, especially that included, down bad and in the trenches, hell yeah, is the perfect category for Hak to be in. Despite me thinking that he should still up it up a little bit. Like, let me see a bit. Maybe that's just like my desire for more of them. That's all I have for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you like this video. Share, like, subscribe. You know the work. I stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Usually play games with my friends. Sometimes I'll craft. And I'll be posting soon again. Remember to turn off those notifications because we don't know when that's gonna happen, but I feel good about this, so maybe soon. We'll see. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. I really enjoyed ranking these men with you. This is the only time I'm ever going to be talking about men at this length, because it's rare, few and far in between. But other than that, I hope to see you guys again here. Make sure you comment what you want me to do, any topics you'd like me to cover, any kinds of videos you want to see. And yeah, again, all my socials are in the description below. What else? I know. Have a great week. Bye. Ingat.